Well, hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's pick a card reading. I hope you all had a nice start to January. It is always a bit of a tough month, especially after like the holiday season and everything. But it is always the prime time to start something new because you more or less get this energy of the new year reflected back to you. So I thought it would be fitting to do a reading in the sense of New Year's resolutions that it is high time for you to work on now. This doesn't have to be something that you will be working through the whole year. We will just be looking at something which you should focus on right now and get it out of your system, and which will help your year start on the right foot. So as you can see, there are 3 piles to choose from. Pick the one that draws you in the most and let's explore what it is that you need to set your mind to right now. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your part of the reading. So if you chose the emotions are running high card in combination with the swan, then this is your spread. Let's get into it. I'll tell you firstly about the tarot cards and then I'll read you the message of the super moon, because I find the messages in the book always to be really nicely written and like inspiring in a way, so I don't want to take that from you. Good. So, looking at your cards in terms of New Year's resolution you need to work on, there are a couple of things, pile 1. So, you would definitely be you will be battling your mind somehow. There is definitely the promise, positive or negative, for you that your emotions will be running all over the place for a little while, and this is good. So it is good for us to be emotional, it is good for us to be in touch with our feelings, and it is good to be a gentle soul at the end of the day, because the more you shove emotions down and try to ignore them, they are just going to brew under the surface and come back to bite you in the ass sooner or later. And it seems that you are dealing with some kind of illusions of the mind. With the reversed Eight of Swords, there is this sense of, and I would say that in combination with the Five of Pentacles as well, there is some kind of sense of feeling victimized, or also proactively playing the victim. Now, playing the victim doesn't mean that you weren't victimized by some situations sometime in the past, but it's just a perspective thing, because shitty things happen to us, but it is very much question of appraisal and reappraisal of how we are going to see these things moving forward. Like basically one and the same event played by 2 different people will affect them differently, because person A will understand it in one way and person B will understand it in a different way. And you know, we have, for instance, these models of learned helplessness, let's say, where, for instance, if we at some point in time decide that we are helpless because of our upbringing, because of our, I don't know, circumstance, because of the media we consume, or a lot of different factors, when we decide this, we start to play it over and over again. And I feel like this is something that you would be dealing with and that you are breaking out of and trying to and starting to see beyond that mind bias. I think you will definitely spend time looking at those negative emotions or thoughts of yours and looking for ways to overcome them. One way of overcoming them, I definitely think, will have strongly to do with you taking time for yourself and investing in your physical well-being, in the sense of just look at her, this lady over here in the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands generally can speak about us feeling attacked somehow by the outer world, and us finding the strength to protect ourselves from whatever or whomever is trying to attack us. But with this card, it gives very much the sense of some kind of amazing peace and tranquility, despite the outside potential stress. And I feel like your way to achieve this will have something to do with you firstly paying attention to your physical body somehow. Especially this card is giving me the feeling of like meditation, yoga, like some kind of more spiritual practice. Now, of course, if this doesn't sound like something you would like to do in the slightest, then maybe this will not be the first step for you. Maybe it will be some kind of different practice. Maybe you're like me, you like doing pole dance. So you will just be going to like 7 different pole dances. Who knows? Was just a joke. But either way, I feel like the first thing that will help you to get your mind in better order will have to do with you working with the mind, especially through meditation, but also with the body. Because sometimes, especially if we're people who don't really like to sit and just focus on our breath or whatever, you can use a type of active meditation where you go and work out, or you go and take a walk, or you paint, or you listen to music. But you have to find some kind of release valve for yourself where you would be able to engage your body and your mind together with it. Now, the other thing is with the Seven of Pentacles. This is a hard work card. I mean, technically, every step in our life requires hard work. This is just what growth and development is about. But the Seven of Pentacles has the message that it is something that takes a while. It is something where you sow the little seeds and you take care of it day after day, and little by little you start to see results happening. And you will know best what area of your life this can be talking about. I am inclined to say that this might have something to do with a creative endeavor, not for any other reason, but particularly because of the Swan card. So the Swan card, the swan is a gentle animal. Because your reading is very like feeling, emotion heavy, it speaks about the fact that you are a sensitive person who needs to get in touch with that sensitivity. And one great way to do it is through your creativity, especially if it has something to do with writing, because the swan can talk about writing. It could be even something about journaling, let's say. But I mean, if you just happen to have some kind of long-term creative project that you are working on, or that you have at least up to this point thought about and planned, I feel like this will be a huge step for you in your further development during this time. And another thing which will be really helpful, because no matter how much we work on ourselves or on our passions, we also need to take a breather. And this breather for you will be just every once and again sitting down, relaxing, spending time with people who are connected to your past, maybe reminiscing about nice experiences you had, like for instance with your childhood best friend. You talk about how you went to, I don't know, school together, or how you had a trip 2 years ago in the summer, and to reminisce about it, to maybe plan something also for this summer, and to just relax and enjoy yourself in good company. I feel like those will be the things that will help you tremendously. for the next step, because we are looking at things one step at a time. I feel like these what did I say, 3 pillars? Yes, so let's say body, mind, social life, and work. This will be the balance that will help you bring you out of your head and out of this situation that you're maybe feeling sorry over. Yeah, feeling sorry about yourself over this situation. And I feel like this will also help you to get out of your head that maybe you are somehow incapable of doing something, or that you don't have the knowledge, the authority, the drive, the skill, whatever this king over there in the reversed position signifies exactly for you. Like, this will kill those illusions and negative feelings. And yeah, I feel like this is pretty much the important message of your cards. Let me read to you the Supermoon card. Maybe you will find some additional messages of encouragement in it. So with the Supermoon, the card suggests that the answer to whatever you're asking is large like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. If you are wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or a relationship, the answer is very. To use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. This card is about being larger than life, being special, and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. This is actually a very nice note, because this is exactly the energy that the king, when he is in his upright and energetic position, is supposed to be in. So this is definitely where you should be moving towards as a next step, pile one. Good. You can expect plenty of good things and positive outcomes when this card comes up, but you may find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. And with the swan, I just want to reiterate once more, be gentle with yourself. It is good to have emotions, and it is good to give them the place, space, time, and dedication to work through. Don't treat yourself, you know how people, at least I relate to this, we want to be tougher than we are because it looks, I don't know, more prestigious to be the hard rock, to be the person who is never emotional, never sad, never whatever. This is not what you need to do. You need to acknowledge your sensitive side. Maybe this is also where some creativity will start to spill over from. And there's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about, if you were thinking about something specific at the start when you pick the pile, there is the sense that whatever you are asking about doesn't come along every day, so take action. Some additional meanings for the card: a resolution to your question is closer than you think. Don't ignore the obvious. Something exciting lies ahead. Make sure you don't blow events out of proportion. And speak to the goddess. Ask her for assistance. Good, why not? Maybe the goddess Moon. I don't know what they mean with this line. The goddess, whichever goddess you feel connected to, even if she is your higher self. Good, pile one. I hope that this was helpful in some way. And yeah, you've got this. Hello, pile two. If you chose the waxing moon with the message of the energy is gaining momentum and the otter card, then this is your part of the reading. Let's get into it. And I'm gonna start off with the general message so everybody hears it before they click out. And the asshole message for you, pile 2, is take a breather. It's not that deep. Literally, it's not that deep. You can breathe underwater. Just remember it. You are a goddamn mermaid. It's not that deep, okay? Shortly said, your resolution that you will be working on next is to relax a little bit and to not get into your head too much over something that needs to be done. It seems that you are stuck in the zone of too much thinking. Also, too much thinking about the work, which is valid. Not the thinking, I mean. The work is valid. There is some work to be done, but the work itself is not dramatic. You can handle it, but you need to let your mind take a bit of a rest. And I want to read to you the whole message from the Author card because I feel it's really important for you. Now, the Author represents in its positive energy unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentment. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the Animal Spirit deck, the Author represents absolute bliss. Author energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and reverence for life itself without the presence of doubt, worry, and skepticism. There we have it. Doubt, worry, skepticism. Good. Imagine yourself with a little more Author energy. What would life look like then? What would it take to bring you there? The Author card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. And when in balance, the potential of the Author is great. It is full of love and needs nothing else. But when it is out of balance, it gets gloomy, sighs, and makes silly excuses. To bring it into balance, what you need to do is dance, party, or celebrate. So, if not anything else, I hope that at least you listen to that part of the message. Now, with the tarot, it does honestly speak about exactly that problem that you're stuck in right now of worrying too much with your brain and potentially not doing enough with your actions. The brain has this negative effect in our lives that when we start overusing it, after a certain point, it just freezes us in place. And it seems that you are frozen currently by some kind of fears that you're holding deep within yourself with the Moon card. And it is probably because you know that you need to make some kind of transition that you are afraid of. That's fine. We all get stuck in this energy. But the idea is that you shouldn't be sitting and thinking and thinking and sitting for too long, at least until at a certain point you just notice that you are only sitting there and wasting time. And this is very much the energy of the reversed Four of Cups, which was the first card that came up for you. Pile 2, I don't know what problem exactly in your life you are contemplating that deeply, and it looks like such a huge hassle and long road and something which is a bottomless pit that you can't delve deep into enough to understand, but it is literally not that dramatic. Don't shy away from opportunities that get presented to you either as some kind of helpful advice or helpful actions or ideas from people or whatever types of opportunities might come towards you, because every opportunity can bring us further in a direction, even if it is in the most unlikely way. Like, you don't know who you are gonna meet, you don't know where you're gonna go, like anything can happen. And if you go into it with the expectation that it's going to be a really long and dreadful route and that it's going to be never ending, you are lost somewhere in the middle of the sea, like you are just drowning and no matter what happens, you'll have too much to do and too little will happen. This will not be a helpful energy for moving forward. Now, not saying that you can't necessarily move forward even in such an energy, but you will have a hell of an unpleasant time. I know it from experience. I am constantly in this stupid energy myself. So, if you are this, then same, God bless, I know what it is. So, pile 2, I am not saying that this thing that you will be working on is going to happen overnight. I am saying that you need, as a next step for this resolution, to work on the process and not think about how far the result is lying away from you. Because your mind, at the very least, your mind might be lying to you. Like, we don't know everything. We don't know how fast something is going to happen. Now, granted, if the thing that you're striving to achieve is, let's say, a doctoral degree, and you know you have another 5 years of doing whatever you are doing to get to that point, like, great, you have a time limit. But for most things in our life, we don't really have that time limit. We don't really know how fast something is going to happen or not. And no matter of the exact time frame it takes, I mean, you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and everything can be done. So it's just not worth it to be miserable in your minute to minute and hour to hour and day to day. So, pile 2, the advice for you for this resolution, the first part of it at least, the thing that you need to focus on right now, is a little bit of mind reprogramming, to where you need to focus on the task at hand, but also do it with love and enjoyment. Like, take a look at our guy over here. Does he look like he is suffering? Like, he enjoys himself. He takes care of his little bonsai tree every day, little by little, and he sees the small results and he is happy with it, and he is continuing with his life. Be like him. Spend your time on the things that you are interested in, that are important to you, where you want to see those seeds grow, and don't despair in the depths of your mind or emotions. Not saying that we shouldn't explore our minds, but there is something again to be said that sometimes when you sit and think for too long, it is extremely counterproductive. And as a first and easy step for that direction for you, definitely go out, enjoy yourself a little bit, have a party. It will help. Good. Then the last message for your reading, I want to read to you also the energy of the waxing moon. Maybe you will find it helpful. So, during the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you are dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go, and do you believe that you can actually get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take some practical steps towards your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. For attuning to the moon, the message is, I know that I'm headed in the right direction. And some additional meanings for this card: the situation is full of potential, your dream can come true, more effort is yet required, are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure that you are still committed to them, and keep moving forward. Good pile 2, I hope that this was helpful for you. Charge ahead, or rather walk slowly ahead and enjoy yourself, and it will happen. Hello pile 3. If you chose the new moon eclipse card with the message of expect powerful change and the camel card, then this is your part of the reading. Let's get into it, starting off with the uppercase asshole message to make sure that you make it at least till this part of the reading. Leave whatever this thing that needs to die in the past and move forward. This will be the resolution that you will be working towards next, or this will be the first step in the journey of whatever exactly you want to achieve next. Hear me out. I'll read to you also the complete messages for the camel card and for the eclipse card. But the idea is generally with the eclipse, you have probably heard about it. It speaks about powerful change. When a moon eclipse hits astrologically one of our planets, then that can be the time, and I think a month before the eclipse and a month after it, I think it is a time when you can expect for some kind of dramatic shift to happen. So you might experience this as some kind of dramatic shift. It might be something really jarring for you, but change is always for the better in the long run. And with the camel has your back with the message that you've got this. You can do this. You are fine. You are a camel. You can walk through the desert. But in order to even make it up to this point, you need to let some kind of disappointment here go. Like this disappointment, this potential disappointment. Now, whether this itself was the disappointment or this is just your extremely positive expectations for harmony, for happiness, for a happy ever after that got shattered, the idea is that something disappointed you, some kind of milk spilled, and it is time to stop crying over it because you're dragging yourself back. And like I said, heartbreak can in so far be understood as something positive because it does bring us to something new. If something breaks our heart, it happened that way because we cared, and now it is time to stop caring. Sometimes for a good reason, sometimes not really, but either way it did happen and we are here to learn from it. And the positive thing is that with every heartbreak, on the one hand you learn something new, but on the other hand you have the best stimulant ever to move towards a new direction, because no one enjoys being heartbroken, no one enjoys crying over anything in life, at least not maybe if you're some kind of masochist like my best friend who enjoys watching sad movies and listening to sad music when she's already sad, but that's a whole different story. But to get back to topic, whatever this thing is that broke your heart, that is represented by all of those spilled cups, by that stabbed heart, it happened, you move out of it. You have the energy to move out of it, and you have the perspective to move out of it. You need to get to the point where you can see it through a bird's eye view, from the perspective of this king that we have over here. He is not down in the trenches. He is not fighting the war. He is not dying on the battlefield. He has the ability, the position, the mind power, potentially also the success. Like he is not dying on the street. He has some kind of privilege to be able to sit up top on the mountain and to think about this situation. And this allows him the possibility to think clearly about it. Now you have some kind of possibility to detach a little bit from this situation, even if it hurts emotionally. You need to acknowledge that there is something here that is positive, and through acknowledging it, you will be able to gain that bird's eye view perspective. And once you do that, this will be the first step that will help you to move out of this energy. And the next two steps will be bringing the fire back into your life. With the Chariot, with the Three of Wands, the message is quite clear. There needs to happen some kind of action. Like both these cards have to do with action. They have to do with you deciding on something, finally, doing your research. You have all the information. Now it is time to jump forward, start moving. It's time to take control of this. No more sitting energy over here and looking at all the effort from the past going down the drain, because gravity is a factor on our planet. The thing that's already gone down the drain is not going to come back up. It is time to start something new. And because you got the 3 and not the 2 in this deck, it is giving me the sense that you have already thought about this more or less, and you have more or less of a plan. Now it is just the sense of overcoming that first step shyness and just throwing yourself into it. And you have to do it. You have to do it. You are the person who is in charge in this situation. No one's going to truthfully come and save you. Not to say that you're not going to meet a lot of pleasant people on the way, and that you're not going to receive a lot of help from like helpful friends. But it's just the message that you have to believe in yourself and your power, and you have to start. You need to know that you can finish this journey on your own. It is the lesson here for you will be turning something which is motivationally something you want to step back from and run from. You need to turn that energy of escaping from one thing in charging ahead for another. You know, maybe it only makes sense in my head, but the same thing you can either run from, and this way, if you're running from this point A that's over here, let's say, you can either move out of it and try to back off until your back is against the wall, or you can run towards something else. This is like basic motivation difference. And the one thing, running away from something is like a negative emotion. It feels negative, but running towards something is positive. This is what you need to strive for here. And additionally, if you have the opportunity of some kind of travel, because you have 2 travel cards and the camel is also a traveling animal, I feel like this will be really positive for you in moving out of the negative towards the positive energy. Good. Let me read to you the complete messages both from the camel and for the moon eclipse. So the camel is resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. It can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm down the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When in balance, it is calm, content, and has a sparkle in its eye. When it is out of balance, it is dehydrated and lacks vitality. to bring it into balance, you need to do a pilgrimage. Now, I wasn't actually sure what a pilgrimage is. I had to Google it. It seems that it is a trip to somehow a holy place. You don't need to take this literally if you don't want to, but it's just the idea for me of discovering something through traveling. Traveling often broadens our horizons when you look at other people and their way of life, or when you exchange ideas with other people. This can be extremely eye-opening. So it might be helpful, again, especially in combination with the Three of Wands and the Chariot card for you. And as to the new moon eclipse, its messages are: if you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation that you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings and there are powerful energies at work. But be prepared. It could be quite a ride. Yes, the Chariot can be a rocky ride, Pile 3, because it is led by horses. So it's not really a BMW 5 or something. Good. And events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new direction you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. You're being put back on the right path and there is nothing to fear. For attuning to the moon, the message is: never mind the past, life evolves every single day. And some additional meanings for the card are yes, yes, and 1,000 times yes. You are being shunted towards your life purpose. Whatever is happening now is happening for your highest good. And this is an important turning point in your life. So Pile 3, there you have it. I hope that this was helpful to you. And just charge ahead. This is basically it for you. Good luck!